Hi. Okay then, let's go. I'm pretty sure that by this point you've already played or at least heard of this game.
Ah, yes! I knew you'd solve it.
Portal. If you haven't, well, it's a pretty ordinary game where you solve puzzles mostly by opening portals and such, with very simple mechanics. Can I take a shit real quick? Okay, I'm done. It's pretty fun. Lots of sarcasm.
Great work. Because this message is pre-recorded, any observations related to your performance are speculation on our part. Please disregard any undeserved compliments.
And the list continues. But this game is literally the biggest parody ever made. Dear Google defines parody as an imitation of the style of a particular writer, artist, or genre with deliberate exaggeration for comic effect. For instance, the popular movie Borat is a parody of the people who live in Kazakhstan. The Kazakhstanians. The Kazakhstanians. So the movie then pokes fun at the culture and tries to achieve humor, usually by the means of exaggeration.
My wife Oksana, she's a boring. Come in here, please. Ignore.
Well, that does make sense. What doesn't make sense is this whole premise of this video. I mean, how can an unsuspecting game like Portal be this big epic parody? And if so, then how come no one has ever talked about it before? Right, so what exactly about this game makes it a parody about you? I mean, how can something know so much about you without ever meeting you? Portal is a game with very simple mechanics, the kind which doesn't actually require an insane amount of gaming motor skills. It's puzzle-based, so it gives you a lot of time to contemplate. The environment is post-apocalyptic-ish, and the robots seem to be in charge with no other human than you in sight. And with its very simple and linear story, it makes it clear that it has something to say. And that is, you suck. You are literally a test subject, not even a smart one, a monkey. The humanity has fallen in the hands of the far superior AI, and you will forever be here just solving puzzles, because that's the only thing you're good for. Oh, you want to change that? We, of course, saw that coming. That's exactly what the story is for, right? Introducing some conflict so you'd still be interested, thinking that if I just solve enough of these puzzles, maybe I'll have the grand finale, the grand closure, the big epic boom. This is what I believe is Portal is all about. It tackles serious philosophical and social issues without managing to sound pretentious. The language is easy to understand, and it's the point. I mean, you can think of it as a broad representation of your life and how each step is like solving a puzzle with the promise of some grand closure in the finale. But in reality, this isn't always the case. In fact, it's never the case. We don't always reach something. The beginning, the climax, and the ending of our stories are really made up in our heads. And in a lot of ways, this game doesn't even present a story, and it tries to tell you exactly that. This is parody done to perfection. And the approach is, the game wants you to relax and use your brain, listening to sarcastic and nihilistic remarks narrated by a human-like robotic voice.
Congratulations. Not on the test. Most people emerge from suspension terribly undernourished. I want to congratulate you on beating the odds and somehow managing to pack on a few pounds.
You know, why don't you just ease it on the sarcasm? Set sarcasm level to 0.
Oh, brilliant! You did find a portal gun! Oh, do you know what? It just goes to show people with brain damage are the real heroes in the end, aren't they, at the end of the day? Brave.
What do you mean? The simplicity of this game paradoxically introduces a lot more complexity. This fine line of saying something without managing to sound completely fucking pretentious is really hard to nail. Think of it this way. If I told you what something meant, you would only have 2 options, either agree and accept, or disagree and refuse. But if I make something and don't tell you the meaning, rather I just put you in a position where you just do it yourself, then you can interpret it and spin it in a way that you agree with and like. The greatest story ever told is one where the story doesn't exist. And the most interesting story is a story about you. a perfect parody for what we are as humans, our nature, our easily predictable OCD when it comes to solving things, and our need for a story. This game, in a lot of ways, is like the Stanley Parable. Portal also embraces solitude, going through things on your own, with occasional help when it fits the narrative. The fact that the game mechanics are simple and the story is kinda cliche makes it a parody of your life. We're all just monkeys thinking we're smarter than we actually are. And what better perspective to show this than through a far more intellectually superior robot?
I'm in space.
I know you are, mate. Yeah, we're both in space.
The reason why I think Portal is perfect in that regard is because it's the most game a game can be. It's fun to play even if you don't want to think about bigger picture stuff, and if you do, it gives you just enough of that. A subtle reminder that the game is way deeper than you think. You can think of it as pretty much any event happening in your life. You suck. You are small. You don't matter at all. And nothing has meaning unless you give meaning to it. Without it, everything we experience is just an experience. This game is memorable for all the right reasons, but the most important reason is you. Thank you so much for sticking till the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe if you like the video and you want to see more content like this. And that's it. See you in the next one.